Well, another box of treasures arrived from my good friend Don. History of the Salvation Army in Alberta, Calgary, particularly around Glenmore Temple, but other corps as well. One of the things he provided to me was this lovely piece that comes out of the newspaper. Page sponsored by CFCN, still an active radio station there. 4,459 Christmas dinners provided by the Salvation Army at, and you'll see the listing and the numbers there. Notice that we float over into Saskatchewan as well, and into BC. The north, Peace River. The east, Lloydminster. There's Coleman, Vulcan. Over here we'll have into BC, Cranbrook, Kimberley, Fernie. Up in the Olds District, Carson, Pincher Creek, High River, etc. At the top talks about the cost, 56,807 nickels. And then where those nickels have been collected, I guess, through this radio station, which reaches, and you'll see that there's some circular lines on the map, perhaps how far the radio goes. I'm not quite certain about all this. And from the area shown on this map. The other thing that came was this really terrific book, clearly the opening of the new building, which was Hillhurst Corps, January the 25th, 1964. You'll see that Hillhurst started in 1912. This book was from Mrs. Helen Cook. And in 1964, they got their new building out on Westmount Road. When we were there in 2000, the building was still about. And some pictures of the inside. This would have been the old building where my folks were, Hall at 1127 Kensington. And that building's still standing. There's a little information. Captain Newell, Lieutenant Marshall started them off. Of course, greetings come from the Territorial Commander of the day, Commissioner and Mrs. Wycliffe Booth. I remember them. And she asking my mother, aren't you going to have more children? You can't just have one. The peddlers, who my folks loved. And then the corps officers of the day, Gurney's, I don't know them, and letters, of course, from each. And then pictures of the groups. The corps had big life-saving units, brownies, scouts. That's the Corps Cadets, but over here, Guide Company, the Cub Pack. Oh, there's the primary. And then some other groups, the little Songster Brigade, the Home League group. Here's the Corps Council. Here's Mrs. Williamson. Can't remember. She was kind of the key, I think, in a lot of these. In there is, I'll come to this in a minute, is Bob Perry, who came to Glenmore Temple when we were the Corps officers. Much older by the time, of course, we arrived in Calgary. There's the laying of the cornerstone by the Chief Secretary. And here you go. Here's the leadership team. Williamson, yes. Brigadier A. Sharp, the Home League Secretary. Here's Bob, now gone to glory. And our good friend, Wayne Shear, still alive and well. A powerhouse, if there ever was one. Lovely man. Just actually was in Toronto not too long ago. He brought one of the old flags from the Corps to the archives. And I've got a picture there of him. There's the Corps officers. Mrs. Allen, Corps Cadet Counselor. And then they've got just some notes in that. And then, of course, the listing of former Corps officers. Well, look over here. The days when only the man's name was listed. First Lieutenant A. Waters. Today we would say Lieutenants Arthur and Margaret Waters. And then those who went to training college, from the Hillhurst Corps. You'll see the Knowles are there. I certainly know them. Mrs. Brigadier W. Ratcliffe and Mrs. Brigadier Watts. There's the back of it. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Fascinating book. Also on here, and I'll do a separate video from that, I found, this is the presentation to the property board, Territorial Property Board, building a case for a new building for Calgary Citadel, which of course became Glenmore Temple, and the opening letter to the Chief Secretary of the day. Anyway, we'll come back to this one.